Hello, my name is David Joyce and I'm the Product Manager for Integration Manager. During the next 10 minutes, I'd like to give you an overview of the exciting new Forms, Comport, SharePoint and International Character Set capabilities of the IM 2.0 release and how you can apply them to help your business. Integration Manager collects information from multiple types of data source, translates it to an appropriate language before transporting it securely to one or more remote destination systems. Initially, source data is translated into a standard intermediate language. A second translation is then applied to this standard intermediate to provide data in the destination-specific language. This ensures that only a single new translation is needed to connect each subsequent data source to all known data destinations. Until now, Integration Manager has been used in the background, providing inter-system connectivity only. However, many laboratory workflows require user interaction, and often this needs to be executed remotely from the LIMS. The Forms agent provides a flexible way to fulfill many user interface needs, such as web-based work orders or checklists, the association of sample details with data from simple Comport instrumentation, or for capturing and execution of standard operating procedures or preparative methods. Integration Manager is now capable of sending any item it can transport to a SharePoint library. So the content of a completed form can be saved as a document, while metadata derived from the form can be used to complete other list columns. In this way, unstructured data can be made accessible throughout the enterprise. Data captured in user-defined forms can also be transferred seamlessly to the LIMS system. This is especially useful in situations where either the data provider is remote from the network, for instance while working in the field, or the full capabilities of a LIMS client are not required, such as a customer making a work request over the web. Integration Manager agents can now interpret and translate any character set supported by Windows, allowing the correct interpretation of data generated in, for instance, simplified Chinese. Forms can be completed using keyboard entry, template-directed voice recognition, testing samples 1, 2, 3, and familiar tools such as the date picker. In addition, ink entry can be used to enable the use of tablet PCs in the lab. This provides functions such as gesture erase to strike out incorrect data highlighted by the form's built-in validation rules. The user configurable forms can be designed and hosted in Microsoft InfoPath, part of the industry standard Office suite. Integration Manager also ships with tools to deploy forms within a web browser. A major challenge in transitioning from paper-based operating procedures to electronic systems is the sheer volume of legacy forms to translate. InfoPath takes your Word and Excel documents and automatically converts them into basic forms. These can then be linked to the LIMS or instruments via Integration Manager. Your paper form templates created in Word and Excel can be automatically converted to electronic forms in InfoPath. This is a Word document representing a laboratory form. It has underscores where fields need to be completed. The document is opened in the InfoPath wizard. Options can then be selected specifying which parts of the Word document to capture. The form is then opened in InfoPath with warnings about data that was not translated. Compatibility settings can then be specified to ensure that the form works either in the browser or the rich client. You can then set about enhancing the form by adding date pickers and other form architecture. Many instruments do not have a concept of sample and test identification. In such cases, a simple form tailored for a specific workstation can provide an easy link to the LIMS. The form identifies the instrument and describes any preparative steps required before analysis. The ID of the sample to be tested is requested. This can be supplied manually or via a barcode reader. As the ID is entered, multiple data items are read from the instrument, which may be connected to a local or remote Comport agent. If the results are acceptable, then the technician can press return and the data is sent to the LIMS. On other occasions, work will be carried out on a batch of samples, requiring bidirectional connection with the LIMS. In this case, a set of samples are selected and exported from the LIMS to the forms agent. A worklist is then selected in the analyst interface, and data is captured from the remote instrument source or via the keyboard. The data can then be submitted, and its delivery to the LIMS is confirmed. Alternatively, the data capture can be carried out using web-based forms, with a similar submission and delivery receipt capability. The sample data is then received by the LIMS and posted to the correct test components. Web-delivered forms are also simple to build and deploy. In the following video, a user-defined form has been linked to a Windows SharePoint Services portal provided as part of Windows 2003 Server. The form can be completed in a browser thanks to technology provided with the 2.01 release of Integration Manager. In this example, we see a standard SharePoint library associated with a form. The form was created by converting an SOP in Word to an InfoPath template. The form is opened using the IM SharePoint add-in and can be completed in the browser. The form can then be saved and simultaneously submitted to Integration Manager. Data from the form can be automatically promoted to SharePoint list fields, where it is made available for enterprise search. Based on security roles, the data can be archived and recalled via the web or client software. Integration Manager is the laboratory telephone exchange for data connectivity. The 2.01 release allows you to securely capture and present data over the web, connect COM-port-based instruments, and interact with your data on tablet PCs in rich pen-based forms. When coupled with Thermo Scientific LIMS and standard systems such as SharePoint, this ensures that both instrument and unstructured data is securely managed and accessible throughout the enterprise.